But yeah, we have a variety of pieces of media with us here answering the question: does it good? Should you watch? And
Yes. Yeah.
speaking of holiday movies, we're starting off with a more recent production from Netflix, Klaus.
Yes. Klaus. Um, I had actually I never heard of this until DB mentioned it, and I'm like, oh, it sounds interesting. It's a little, basically the origin story of Santa Claus.
Yep, mashed together with the Terry Pratchett book Going Postal,
Mm.
which it's such a weird coincidence to have a story of a ne'er-do-well who ends up being put in charge of a post office and being asked to turn it around. Like that is it's a different sort of ne'er-do-well because our main character in this movie, Jesper, is he is a child of privilege whose dad basically owns the post office.
Yes, and he doesn't want to. He's basically just like doing the whole post office thing just for out of like sheer whatever obligation or whatever. And
Right,
yeah,
with the objective of tanking his performance so that daddy lets him come back home.
right. Yes, but instead, Dad says, "No, I'm actually sending you to this very very remote northern post office to get it going, and you need to mail out around was it 6,000 letters?
6,000, yep.
Yeah, and then he can come home, and of course he gets there, and it's what you would expect, just a very quiet little northern town up in here. I would say probably kind of close to Iceland, maybe.
Yeah, like if we assume it's like the like a real European setup, it might be like the Faroe Islands.
Yeah,
Like,
and yeah,
somewhere dark and nasty, and what do you know? The people there are just as nasty because you have this rivalry between the Ellingboe family and the Crumb family.
yeah. Which one's the world kind of goth looking ones? The Crom family, is that right, or is that the Lingbo?
Let's see, the Ellingboes are the ones who are represented by the dumb guy,
Okay.
voiced by Will Sasso,
Okay, so
and
that's
the
yeah, that's the red. They're the redheads, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the Crumbs are led by Mrs. Crumb, who's voiced by Joan Cusack. By the way, nice array of celebrities here. Jesper is
Yeah.
voiced by Jason Schwartzman.
Mhm.
Mr. Klaus is voiced by J.K. Simmons, and Rashida Jones does a nice job as Alva, the love interest.
Yes. Yeah, she's there as a school teacher, but of course none of the kids go to school, so she turns the school into a fishmonger. Uh, and she's trying to earn enough money so that she can get off the island. And of course, Jesper, he's trying to figure out how to mail all these things, and then he
Right.
or
Uh,
we all yeah he meets the ferryman. I can't remember the ferryman's name, but I just remember he's voiced by the late Norm Macdonald.
in a moment of perfect casting.
Mhm. But yeah, he hears from the ferryman that about this woodsman lives all the way up in the northern end of the island.
And
Um,
he's like, well, maybe he wants to send some mail.
yeah, and he gets up there and he sees that this woodsman's got a bunch of wood toys that he's made. And before that though, he meets a kid, one of the Crumb kids living in the house, and he loses his little drawing and he wants his drawing back. And he's like, well, if you want the drawing back, you'd have to put it in the mail, and
It's just a penny.
just a penny. Yeah.
By the way, we've kind of skipped over Jason, or excuse me, Jesper's personality. The guy is like Emperor Kuzco from The Emperor's New Groove, turned up to 13, just like so selfish, so narcissistic, so much of a jerk ass.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, he all he cares about is just getting off the island, and not no matter how he does it, he's just gonna do it.
Yep. So what ends up happening is, by the way, I love the design for Santa Claus there, because he is just a giant. Like
Oh
just
yeah, yeah. And he's not fat either. He's just very burly. Yeah.
he kind of almost reminds me of that superhero version of Santa from that Guardians movie that DreamWorks tried to come out with.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
But yeah, he's just a isolated woodsman. Has a room full of wooden toys he's made himself, and Santa sees this letter, or sees the picture drawn by the little boy, and decides to give the little boy one of his toys. So that's when Jesper gets his idea to drive up mail circulation. So
Yes. Yeah.
send a letter to Mr. Klaus, and he'll give you a toy.
Right. Yeah. And so then they start doing this clandestine stuff at night where they sneak into their houses and they leave them a toy.
Yep. And so, of course, all the way through, you have kind of an almost naturalistic idea of how did all the parts of the Santa Claus myth to come together. It's like, oh, how did he get down the chimneys? Well, Jesper is thin and wiry enough to help him out with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the one I like too is when there's one kid in the village who gives Jesper a really hard time. And one of the letters was from him, and he wanted some toy. And then he's like, "No, I'm not going to give him a toy." And then he looks over, and he sees a bucket full of coal, and so he just puts the toy in the stocking, or the coal in the stocking. And
wait, only good kids get the toys?
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does the well, he has a list of all the naughty kids, and he knows if you're being naughty.
Yep. So it's just like it's just a very fun little movie. I will say that when I watched it with my family around when it launched, they didn't really care for the kind of dingy tone of it, or the dingy appearance of it, or
Yeah.
some sadness in Klaus's past that they go into,
All right. Yeah.
which I won't spoil, because this movie's plot is fairly predictable. So you might as well have whatever surprises are available.
Yeah.
Um, let's see.
And hey, Arcos, good to see you. He said, interesting. I like the animation for this movie. From what he sees in the thumbnail, yeah, the animation style kind of reminded me of a very Don Bluth-esque style.
Yeah, the main director of it. Here's which one of these guys is it? Well, there's two directors listed. There's Sergio Pablos and Carlos Martinez Lopez. As I recall, when I looked them up on IMDb, one has a much more like a lengthy. Okay, yeah. So Sergio Pablos has like a long resume at DreamWorks and other mainline animation companies. What's
Okay.
also interesting about it is that technically this is all done CGI.
Yeah.
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 And it's interesting. It's interesting because if you just look at it, it looks hand drawn until the camera tilts and you see another angle of a character, or um, there's other details where you go, "Oh, this is all CGI." It's just CGI doing its best to look hand animated.
Yeah, I actually thought it was hand animated until you said it was CGI.
Yes, I think I think it was just like an attempt at keeping that style alive, from what I recall reading at the
Yeah.
time.
Mm. Which I
It was also
appreciate. Yeah.
nominated for an Academy Award, which I don't know
Oh.
what won in 2019. I'm going to guess it was Disney.
Let's find out. Oscars, Oscars 2019. 2019.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, of course.
Okay, like whatever issues I have with those stories as far as being Spider-Man stories, that's strong competition
Yeah.
just on a visual production level.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this has a nice pedigree behind it. It's a pretty heartwarming story. I don't know if it's managed to breach the Christmas classic canon. Um,
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Probably not.
but I think it's worthy of a watch if you haven't yet. Actually, what the animation really reminds me of, or at least the way characters are colored and shaded,
Yeah.
is actually the old Gillimations from Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Oh yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
because the characters move in slightly unnatural ways.
Mhm.
But and I also I believe that some of the people who worked on this worked on The Emperor's New Groove. Even though like neither director had it in their IMDb's when I looked it up earlier.
Uh,
So it does. It's like there is just such a visual. Basically, if you liked movie animation in the 90s and 2000s, this is a worthy watch.
mm. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a good also good one to watch with your family too. If you're getting sick of the usual like Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Santa Claus,
Mixed nuts if you're my family.
yeah, or Arcos for Arcos Die Hard. Although
Uh,
our,
uh,
our 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 official position here at Critique Corner is that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
right. Uh, Die Hard is an excellent movie that takes place at Christmas but does not have the themes of Christmas.
Right. Yes.